Hey, it's Allie with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we're doing a Carina comparison against the Keurig K-Cup machine. So basically these two machines are entirely different worlds to me personally, but you are probably pretty familiar with Keurig. I feel like we've all owned one at some point. But they have recently come out with some different ones that can do milk function, and then try to replicate an espresso type machine as well. So I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a difference between the style of a Keurig machine and something like our exclusive Carina, and how the differences in how they brew and how they will produce your cup of coffee. So we're all familiar with the pods. Pods, or the K-Cups for this example, are convenient, prepackaged amounts, of course. The K-Cups are about 5 grams of coffee in each of these. So when you're typically brewing an espresso shot, it's north of like 10 to 14 grams. So the Carina will brew in that range. But these are just 5. So not a ton of coffee involved there. They're also not recyclable at this point, so you're adding a lot of waste, not to mention all the production of the materials involved. Also, of course, it's got pre-ground coffee in it, so as soon as you grind that coffee, it starts to lose its freshness. So these are not going to have the same type of experience or the same type of freshness that a fresh ground coffee or fresh ground espresso shot will. However, when we talk about when it comes to this Keurig machine and the way that it works, it tries to produce a similar style of coffee. So I'll go ahead and brew you one and just show you how it does that. So footprint, of course, is going to be a little bit smaller in comparison, but it might even be a little bit wider here. So whenever I'm making a cappuccino, you have your little removable, like, frother here, if you will. It has a little spinning dial in the middle. I filled it to the cappuccino line. Sorry, it's a little wet because I was rinsing it off. Fill it to the cappuccino line. You can do, there's a little bit more for a latte line, but the max drink you'd want to make with these is about 6 ounces. So I'm going to hit cappuccino. Whoop. It's going to start to spin and froth that milk. Then add my K-Cup. This is a French roast, 100% Arabica. Go ahead and pop it in there. And 2 coffee buttons illuminate, or a coffee and a latte and cappuccino. So I know I'm going to make cappuccino, hit that. So we have a strong button here that's illuminated, a shot button, and then a go button. So it will start to brew. Takes about, I think it said, traditionally 3 minutes for the milk system to heat up, a minute for the coffee system to heat up, and then the time for it to do all of the brewing. So right away you can see the Keurig's not going to pull a pressurized shot. It's going to be, you know, it's made to do quick, convenient drip coffee. So this is what you're getting for your espresso. So it's not going to be that condensed shot that you're wanting. It's not going to have that strong flavor. If anything, I think this style of coffee is more similar to a misto, which is like half brewed coffee, half steamed milk. Yeah. So that's your espresso shot for your Keurig. Sounds like the milk has finished up as well. Milk is a little bit better on this at least. Does a pretty good foam level. And that's your cappuccino. You can rinse that out after, of course. And then K-Cup out and into the landfill, unfortunately. So next up, Carina. Let's do a cappuccino on that and see how it compares. So this machine, of course, it's going to be more traditional espresso machine. It's got whole bean grinds, or whole bean coffee in the top. So you actually have the option to, sorry, it's falling asleep right now. It's been on for a while. The Carina has the capacity for whole bean coffee, so you have a lot more options. You're not restricted to what the Keurig's brand of cup or the size or anything like that. You can choose any whole bean coffee as long as it's not too oily. If it's too oily, it'll clog up that internal grinder. But you could also use pre-ground. Say you like to switch it up and you like to have pre-ground coffee. It does have a bypass that you can do that. So we talked about already how the Carina is going to brew a more intense shot, or it's going to have more coffee in it. It's also going to actually have pressure involved. Sorry, I need to hit the power button, not the go button. It's also going to have actual pressure involved. 10 bars of pressure are going to push on that espresso and make that intense shot, that intense condensed shot that we want. So right now it's just heating up. You can make a regular coffee on this one, you'll see as well. So it's just gonna be a little bit of a different style. Perfect, so it's now all heated up now. I can make 2 drinks on this one if I wanted, but it's just me, so I'm just gonna make 1 and make sure it's on the 1. You can change how much coffee, so say you're not a big fan of strong coffee, you can bump it down to more like the 10-gram range, or even all the way up to like the 14-gram range. Just to make it fair, let's say in like the middle here. And then this is the size, so you can do a lot of coffee, not so much coffee, but we're doing an espresso shot. So I'm just gonna leave it at the max capacity. It should be around, actually let's turn it down. Let's do just a little bit less. Cool, so I'm gonna start with my milk on this one. Sorry, I think I had it, yeah, hidden back here. And I have a local roast coffee in this machine right now. So not only am I able to, you know, choose that and switch it up, I have more options, of course. This one's gonna be a more intense style espresso because this one was a French roast. This is a little bit more on the intense side as well. So we did our best to kind of match it up there. So when I'm ready to steam, I'm gonna hit, not hot water, we want steam, and then hit go. And this does take a second just to warm up. Depends on when's the last time you've used it or how long it's been heating. This one just turned off, so now it's gonna take a few seconds more. But you have more control over the foam on this as well, so you can be more precise about how much or how little you want. And it's gonna start to pump. That's the pump kicking on, creating that steam. I'm adding some foam to it since we want a cappuccino. Carinas are made in Romania as well, so they're going to be a little bit more sustainable as far as the environmental restrictions go there. And you know, that's something that's so important in the coffee industry. Everything that happens to the environment is going to make an impact on the way that your coffee tastes. It's very dependent upon weather, and you know, things like that that keep our coffee world in motion. All right, so it's getting to the point where it's too hot to touch. Just go ahead and turn it off there. Get my rag and wipe this off really quick. You can also run this under the sink, which I will do when we're done with this video, just to make sure there's no milk stuck inside. And then I will go ahead and brew my espresso. Click espresso again, hit go. It was saved to the way that I had programmed it previously. And so there's no, wait for it to crying. There's no plastic involved in the actual dosing of the coffee. So out, whenever you're done brewing, it just pops out into a compostable puck. So you can throw that right in your garden. If you have a garden, if you have compost, you can do that. But basically you're not gonna have any plastic to worry about or recycle. And your coffee is gonna taste a lot fresher. So you can tell a huge difference in the way that it brewed, of course. This one actually has crema, that cascading effect, actually pressurized. You can see that. It will start to dissipate eventually, but for now, at least you have it. Pour in my foam. You can make bigger drinks with this machine as well, if you are doing the steam there. Boom. Cappuccino. 1 from each. They actually look about the same. Let's just try them out and see how they compare. 1. It's really bitter. It might be some of that has to do with the French roast because that's a really dark coffee. But it's really bitter. All I can taste is the bitterness on the back of my tongue. The milk has kind of got like sort of a sweetness to it, but definitely not like smooth in any sense of the word. Oh gosh, that's a lot better to drink. Much more smooth. I feel like it actually has notes and it's not just like bitterness. When you want, like when I drink coffee, I don't want it to be bitter. I want it to have dynamic flavor and to be smooth. That bitterness usually means over extracted or like too much temperature. Basically, it's just not exactly what you want. You want that smooth coffee flavor and coffee profile. So I think that's about it. You kind of get the idea. Anytime you have fresh ground coffee and you have more control, it's definitely going to be a better cup for you. Sustainability wise, the Carina is going to have more options, less waste. Yeah, so that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions about this machine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and we will see you next time.